Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Uncharted 3 Crushing Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the second part to Citadel, and these are the 3 guys that will attack you when you're on this rock. And if you wait here, you can kill all 3 of them before you have to move. And it makes this sequence a lot easier, because I was moving up me, trying to focus on the guys to your right, which you're going to see in a moment, and I was getting my shit pushed in, and I couldn't even tell from where, and it was those assholes up there that were spawning late. So, if you move up here just a little bit, you can headshot these 2 guys on the side, and you won't have any trouble doing this outer wall area. But before I learnt that pattern, I must have died 5 or 6 times, because I kept getting impatient and rushing forward. And you'll notice, I'm still expecting more guys to turn up, but they don't, because I finished them all off. And be super careful when you're running on the walls. If you think you don't have enough momentum, just run again. It'll save you a lot of easy deaths, because the amount of times I've fallen off the chains to something stupid is unbelievable. And as soon as you come in here, there's going to be 3 guys, all aiming at you, all very close, so be real careful. And take them out whichever way you want, and then you're back on high ground, and you can swap to the Magnum, which is a one-shot, one-kill on most enemies. On the heavies, if you hit them in the face, it'll knock their helmet off, and then it'll kill them. And it's a good strategy to kill the heavies with anything really powerful. If you get a sniper rifle or anything that shoots, some serious damage, always aim for the face. You can end those fights really quickly. And then you can just run around here and pick up some ammunition. And what's going to happen is your team are going to find you, or you're going to find your team, and then you're going to open one of these doors that leads onwards, and a big guy's going to come out of it. And you can shoot him before you start fighting him to make it go quicker. It's entirely up to you. I do this, which is the best way to kill him. Stun him, and then shoot him instead of punching him. It's a cheeky technique that you probably don't think to do straight away, but as soon as you figure it out, it'll make those fights really quickly. Make them really quick, sorry, not really quickly, that's real bad English. But when you get up here, I've trimmed a bunch of stuff out where they stand around and talk, and all you have to do is Charlie's going to pass you a scope. You have to stand on the plate to be able to use the scope, and then you have to find the North Star. Once you've found the North Star, you look down, and it'll show you where you need to go. It's that simple, you just follow the instructions. And I'm going to talk about some of the artwork that I was looking at last night in the gallery section of this game. So a little history lesson about me here. I'm an artist myself. I've drawn and designed things ever since I was very small. It's what I used to do. I used to just sit and draw, and I'm pretty good at it. I'm not brilliant. I'm not, the next big thing or anything, but when I sit down and I take my time, I can draw some pretty cool stuff. And I was looking at these galleries last night, and I don't know if your guys are the same, or if anybody else who comes from an artistic background ever thinks this, but I'm looking at these people that have obviously got a graphics tablet, which is something that I want so that I can draw in Photoshop, which I've never done, but I've always wanted to because it looks amazing. And they've obviously drawn this in something like Photoshop, and they've used tons of colours. You can even see the brush strokes. It looks all scribbly, and it all comes together and somehow makes this really awesome looking picture. And you just look at it and you think, how the fuck have they done that? And I can't even comprehend it, because you can see some of the really unorthodox scribbling that somehow work towards making a texture. And I know it's probably been built up in layers, and it's probably a lot like painting, and I'm not very good at painting, so it's why I probably have a hard time in just surmising how anybody could conceivably do it, but it looks so real and so detailed, and just everything works so well, even though it's clearly quite messy, and it just fascinates me. And all art fascinates me, because that's one of the best things that we do as a race. That's the best thing about our culture, our ability to create art. But I just don't get it, me. I really don't. And it might be one of those situations where somebody looks at your work and thinks, I don't get how they did that. And everybody has this different feeling because, everybody works a different way. But some of that artwork that they've done for this, some of the conceptual art, is just fantastic. And it's one of those things where it's like, how do you get that good? I mean, I've been drawing all my life, and I'm not that fucking good. Maybe I'm out of practice, or maybe it's a case of you just have to do it and keep doing it until you get better, but it just looks amazing. So, now that we're separated, and you've just run that little gauntlet of the explosives, I probably should talk about that firefight I just did. If you stay in cover and you move when the rockets fire, you shouldn't get hit, but be warned, the AI on this game has ridiculous aim, and I've been hit directly with a rocket from miles away, so just be aware. And take them out as quick as you can with the Dragonov. That's my strategy for you. But this area here is the area that you can stealth if you're good enough. I'm not good enough to do that, so I shoot everybody. And I sit from this vantage point, just aiming out with... I start with my pistol so that I can be as inaccurate as I want, and then I swap to my assault rifle when it heats up a little bit later. The one thing you've got to be aware of here is there is a lot of enemies. They will come thick and fast, so you want to be as efficient as you can at taking them down. Never move out of this area when you think it's clear, because it probably isn't clear, and be aware that the heavies are going to come, and the heavies take a pounding. And one good strategy about using, the enemies against each other is if there's anybody with the heavy, he'll generally throw a grenade, so you want to throw the grenade back towards the heavy if you can, and it'll save you a hell of a lot of time. But that first guy goes down pretty quickly, and this is the first time I move out to see if anybody's still there. I see a guy over there, I run back to my hiding spot, and this way nobody can flank behind you, and you've got the best vantage point of anybody coming towards you. Just be careful of that guy on the balcony, because I couldn't hit him from here, and he could hit me just fine. And obviously there's another one of the heavies who's just thrown a grenade, which I should have thrown back, but I hide from it because I'm a coward. And just keep on peppering him, and hopefully he should fall down. But the heavies in this game are nowhere near as challenging as they were in the second one, I'll say that much. They just don't seem to be in situations that are as cheesy anymore. They seem to be in areas where you can definitely take them down. And that is always a good thing, because I don't mind a challenge, but I don't like an unfair challenge. That's how I generally stand on that perspective. But keep on sniping. Watch your ammo though, because you will run out very quickly. And when you push out, just make sure you're in cover, because you die so fast, man. This one guy up here, if I ran out into the open, he would kill me before I'd taken 3 or 4 steps. I mean, just look at that. I could have probably died there if I'd have got unlucky. It's how it works. You get screwed so quickly. And before you've got time, to curse yourself for being impatient, you're already playing the sequence again. And the checkpoints are generally before anything kicks off, which is equally as annoying. But just take your time, just keep patient. You can probably do this a lot quicker if you're more aggressive, but this is the safest way to do it, I will guarantee that. The only safer way is if you know a perfect route through the level to do the stealth takedowns and kill everybody. If you can do that, you will save yourself a lot of ammo and a lot of time, but right now this is when it got a little bit bad. I run out of ammo, so I've got no chance but to beat this guy up. Luckily enough, it only takes 2 punches and his buddies just rush me as well, so I can beat him up too and then get his AK. The guy throws a grenade, I move away from it, snipe his head, and pick up some more ammo, so I'm good to go if anybody else is still alive. And I think that was the last dude. We'll soon find out in a second. Yeah, it looks pretty quiet. So all that's left to do now is to go up to the doorway and see if it's the secret one. And as usual, you want to run around picking up as much ammo as you can. Why the game doesn't automatically pick it up, I don't know. It just seems to add frustration and seem a little bit too gamey and too arcadey for the likes of this. And look at that. This guy's climbing vertical walls with millimeters of things to grab hold of, and he's doing it effortlessly, yet he can't mantle up a 4-foot-high wall with a crack in it. It just makes no sense. But this is the first objective you've got to get to. Is the anticlimactic moment of it being a cupboard. Always funny. This game does have a great sense of humour. I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy that. I know I did anyway. This game was making me laugh all the time. But that means that the puzzle we thought we'd solved was not correct, and we have to adjust accordingly. So when you stand on this platform, you can now use your little aimer again, and where you need to look is down at that sun symbol on the floor. That represents the below section, the northern sky represents the above section, and you have to find something in the middle. And lo and behold, there is the middle ground. And that's where you're going next, to that lovely opening / entrance over there. But it's never that simple. This is the second firefight that I mentioned, and this one is probably more challenging than the first one, because there's a lot more enemies, and there's snipers and all sorts of stuff. So when you've got a sniper laser on you, they will take a while to shoot, but if it's on you and it stays on you, it means they've acquired the target and they're going to kill you really quickly. So the best thing to do is just roll like a madman, just roll. It's the best strategy. Right then, that grenade was so close to me that wasn't even worth mentioning, but the best place for cover on this firefight I found is where I am right now. This way, if anybody does try and flank you, you're going to be able to hear them. and they're going to have to come past your buddy first, just through that route, and it takes them a while to get to you. Another way they can get up is in the hole behind me. What you can't see right now is that in the middle of this room is a hole, and I can drop down it if I need to, if I start getting swarmed, but enemies can also come from below me, but it's very rare that they do that. Just be aware that they can, and then just act accordingly, and just take everybody out from a distance, take your time, and this shouldn't be too challenging, but I tried it in a couple different areas, and every single time I found myself getting lit up a little bit too much for my liking, so this was the easiest place I found. It's just, you've got to be patient, you've got to, you've got to stay vigilant, or they're going to come from behind and just take you out. But shoot dudes, do your thing, and just watch what I do, and hopefully you'll have a pretty similar experience to the one that I had. And I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes talking about something a little bit different, and it's going to be the next project I'm taking on, which is going to be the massive Modern Warfare 3. And I'm a little bit scared about Modern Warfare 3, if I'm honest, because every video I watch of it, it looks a bit dull. And I've never been the person to say that the games look dull. I don't even think World at War looks that dull. I just think it looks very different. And everybody thought Black Ops had no colour and just looked a bit dull. I didn't. I thought Black Ops looked fine. It looked like it looked. It was cool. I liked it a lot. Modern Warfare 3 is looking dull, especially compared to Modern Warfare 2, which had so much colour. It was like a kaleidoscope of colour, and this most recent one just looks as if it's bleached. It looks really, really dark, and there's little things that they've added as well that take away the colour, and I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks the game's not going to be that good. There's also a part of me that thinks Infinity Ward have never fucked up before. They've never made a bad game, so it's probably going to be awesome. The one thing that I can say is either way, it's going to do a lot of good things for my channel. But it all depends on if I can get it up fast, and it all depends on if I can get people to see it. And that is the hardest part about YouTube. You can have the best content in the world. It's getting people to see your stuff when there's so much out there. And with Modern Warfare 3, excuse me, do apologise about that, I intended to use Shop2, a service I've used frequently, who sends you games quite early. Sometimes you can get them 2 to 3 days early if you're lucky. It's usually just the day before it comes out. That's how I got Uncharted. That's how I'm getting this guide up so fast, because I got it early. And I intended to do the same for Modern Warfare 3, but Activision are so fucking tight around the belt right now, and so strict when it comes to their street date, that they've implicitly said to Shop2, do not send any copies or dispatch any copies early. And Shop2 have had to send an email out to everybody who's pre-ordered saying that we can't send it out early, they'll all be dispatched on Monday, so they'll come for Tuesday, and there's no chance any of them will come early, or they're going to get fined. And I can understand why they want to do this, but at the same time it fucks me massively, because I can't get the game early, I can't do the guide early, and I can't get it up as fast as possible, especially with my shitty internet, and it just puts a lot more toll and a lot more strain on myself. And this is not even going into the issue I had at first. My first issue with Shop2 was the normal edition of the game had been completely sold out. You couldn't pre-order it, and I'd not pre-ordered it, so I couldn't pre-order unless I paid 90 quid for the fucking special edition one. And I didn't want the special edition one, but it was the only one I could pre-order. So I went through a whole load of bullshit of messing with my account to be able to pre-order this other one, and it turns out I can't even get it early, so I've had to cancel that order and completely change my strategy. So what's going to be happening now is I'm going with a friend of mine to our local village. We're going to go to the midnight launch. I'm going to buy a bunch of energy drinks, and I'm going to beat the game on Veteran on my first playthrough, and then I'm going to record my guide afterwards. And I'm hopefully going to do it in the same streak. It's going to be crazy, it's going to take a massive toll, but if I can do that, I can pass out afterwards, I can wake up, and then I can do the commentary, I can edit it, and I can start uploading it the same day it comes out. And if I can get it up as quick as possible, depending on how short or how hard it is, hopefully it'll pay dividends to me. But I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break between guides after that one, because I need to start focusing on my university, because I've neglected it these last few days because I need to get these out. But Modern Warfare 3 is going to be a really big moment for me, so hopefully it'll do the work that I'm going to put in to put it up, and it'll make everything worth it. And once these cutscenes have finished talking, all you have to do is you have to press this button in the middle, this pillar. Drake will manipulate it, it'll push it in, and it'll lead us into the next level. And the cutscene there's a little weird, because Charlie gets shot with a dart, or whatever his name is, I always forget. And it never explains what these darts are. I don't know if there's something from the first game, or what else, something from the second game, I can't remember. But apparently they're very suggestive, and they change your behaviour for a certain amount of time. And they make you hallucinate and all sorts of stuff. And I don't know where they come from, I don't know what the explanation is, but they're bad stuff. It's just one of those things, just like Talbot, that never really gets explained for my liking. But once you've pushed the block, there's going to be a little bit more talking, a little bit more exposition, and then nothing left to do except welcome the next level. So, as per usual guys, thanks for watching, I hope the video's helping, and you take care now.